So I think I've decided I'm gonna alternate days between walkthroughs and bond conversations as long as time permits until I get through all the bond conversations, because it'll probably take me longer to do my walkthrough than it will to get through the bond conversations. So let's hop into it with Shuju.
This is the right place for good grub. Why don't we have a meal together? Food's always better with company.
I do like this voice actor a lot more for Shuju than his previous ones.
Great. Then it's decided. Let's eat our fill. Heck, if we're going to enjoy ourselves, might as well try out a few places, am I right? Never you fear. All of my go-to spots have food that's too good to resist. Well now, I'll take you around to a few choice eateries. That one over there is good. Same with the one on the corner. After those, we ought to take a stroll over to the edge of town. Happy to hear it. All of them are great, believe you me. And by great, I'm talking tasty, cheap spots where you can kick back and eat in peace. Oh, and they use food harvested from real nice fields. Veggies and potatoes really get tasty when people put their heads together and put in a ton of hard work on the daily. One of the higher-ups might get mad if they heard me say this, but don't you think tending to fields and warfare are kind of similar? So you get me. Glad to hear it. Farmers fight against weather, unknown diseases, you name it. They're risking their lives as much as the rest of us. Boy, all this talking is making me hungry. Let's hurry and get to our first stop. We'll eat tons. Be thankful for the great food, then eat tons more. Right at the same time, huh? This place is the best. Lord Cao gave me some money when I told him I was planning on eating with you. Eat up and prepare for tomorrow, he said. He's just the best, don't you think? That's a lord I'm glad to serve. Right, so we can eat as much as we want. Good thing my stomach's always ready for more. Like the other day, he was in a pinch, and I managed to protect him without getting a single scratch on him. Then he gave me this great position, telling me I should stick around more. I mean, I was thrilled, but I couldn't help but worry about it. Well, I haven't been able to tend to my fields for a while now. And at this rate, there won't be enough of a harvest to fill everyone's bellies. But my job is to protect Lord Cao, you know? So I got stuck worrying about which ought to be more important. And I figured getting Lord Cao to the top has got to be the priority. Because if anyone can create a world where everyone can eat, it'd be him. So, if I can protect him, more people can eat. I don't know. Am I making sense? Yeah? Well, if you think so, it must be true. Still, I want to do as much as I can in the fields, too. I'll make sure to slide some of the produce your way. thanks for coming. I know you're busy. A place to eat, of course. And there's gonna be mountains of good grub. Remember what I said about continuing to work the fields? Well, I managed to get enough for a meal, so I had them cook it up for you.
That doesn't look very good to me.
It's all as fresh as can be. Eat as much as you want. Where I'm from, we do these harvest festivals each year. Boy, that brings back memories. Wonder how the folks are doing back home. The vegetables we grew there were so fresh, too, like you wouldn't believe. We helped each other out and worked hard, so we had some amazing harvests. But then, some no-good bureaucrat came around and told us to give it to him. Kids went hungry when we got hit with droughts. But that was nothing compared to being leeched on by greedy officials. Appreciate the anger. But you know, we all ended up just accepting it. We were already so tired from working in the fields, you know. We thought that's just the way things are. So when we met Lord Cao Cao, now that was a surprise. Whenever I look at him, I feel like our hard work really will end up paying off one day. He's an amazing man, someone we gotta protect. If I can work the fields again, under Lord Cao Cao's rule, I'll be happy. And you can help me dig up dirt. Hey, what's with the formality? You're a buddy of mine, and a good one. A lot's happened, sure, but I hope we can still spend some time together after the war. I bet we can work a really big place with the two of us. Oops, the food's getting cold. Let's eat already. There's plenty here to fill ourselves up on. Food, hopes, and dreams. Eh?
My apologies for calling on you like this. I'm sure you were also surprised to be handed a drink so suddenly. I figured. Such a gesture does seem suspicious. Though I do not have any untoward motives, I swear to you. This is simply my thanks for the other day. You saved my life, you see. After I failed to assassinate Dong Zhuo, you and Lord Cao Cao saved me from imprisonment. It is thanks to you that I live and breathe, and am able to serve his lordship. Now then, one moment, please. I fear I'm a bit shyer than most. If I don't fire myself up like this, I can hardly speak my mind. Good. That did the trick. I do have an ulterior motive for summoning you here. It's about your true identity, you see. Pardon my impudence, but you are the Guardian of Peace, are you not? Or I suppose I should say were, what with all of them dead except for you. The truth is, I had guessed as much when we met at Lord Wan Yun's manor. But this is the first time I'm able to confirm it myself. I heard that they undergo a special training regime. So I had misgivings that you might do harm to Lord Cao Cao. So I consulted with Lord Xun Yu in secret. Even so, I concluded that you have no reason to cause such harm, and that my worries were thus unfounded. From what I have heard, you have no memory of your past, yes? As such, I do not see you raising a hand to Lord Cao Cao. I was simply overthinking the situation. As such, I thought it would be best to thank you and apologize to you at the same time. That is all. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Sincerely, Shunyo. My tactics worked then. I would not have been able to explain myself otherwise. Perhaps realizing Lord Cao Cao's vision to unite this land shall be my life's work. Or it will cost me my life, at the very least. And then there's you, a guardian of peace who has brought us to this point. I will be counting on you further going forward. I shall have you become an indispensable piece of my greater plan. As such, I intend for the two of us to grow closer this evening.
It's either food or hitting on me. Or both at the same time.
Ah, I thought you might be home. Ambush successful, as it were. Indeed, as busy as you are, I thought setting a time in advance would be a bother to you. I knew that you were here and alone, so I figured this would be an opportune time. For a sudden visit, that is. There is a reason for my actions. I'd like to ask you for a personal consultation. That is, an objective evaluation of yours truly. Oh, I'm pleased you think so. I mean, I know I'm the one who asked, but I hardly expected you to admit as much so readily. I believe I shall require a congratulatory drink to still my nerves. One moment,
Here we
please.
go again.
Good. That did the trick. Perhaps with this sudden visit a troublesome topic, you wonder why I've come to visit today. I wholly understand where you're coming from. Last we met, I spoke of you, my savior, as a tool to be used in my schemes. The discourteous nature of my words has hung like a stone around my neck. Once we became comrades, I intended to make my erroneous blunders clear to you, and yet my initial remarks were so unbelievably rude. Compared to the likes of Lord Xun Yu, Guo Jia, and Jia Xu, my lack of tactical acumen is wanting. When thinking of my blunt decorum after our meeting, I wish to crawl into a hole and disappear. Or for you to reprimand me with the greatest fury you could muster. Such desire filled my very being. And then to have you validate me so, against my expectations, I now find myself feeling dubious as a tactician. Yet overjoyed as a simple man. As such, I find my feelings in a state of abject confusion and contradiction. I must admit I find myself at a loss as to how I should go about resolving this cognitive dissonance. What? Should I continue as I have been? If you, a guardian of peace, say so, I could hardly object. I thank you for your words of encouragement. Somehow I find myself more motivated than ever, to never feel discouraged and never give up. That is my conviction. Lord Xun Yu watches over me with affection, and Lord Gojia always tries to get me to speak up. Lord Jia Xu gets up to all sorts of mischief, teaching me how to better think on my feet. And you bolster my motivation and allow me to indulge in such consultations. All in all, I suppose I won't run into any issues as long as I continue to do my best. The goal of today's ambush has been fulfilled. All that remains is to use this opportunity to further close the distance between us. Now come, let us drink through the night.
Will it happen a third time? I honestly don't remember.
And lo, I have come. I had so hoped to run into you. Could I ask you to spare a moment? I appreciate you not tossing me out into the street. I was in a strategy meeting with Lord Jiashu and the others. We reached an impasse, and before I knew it, I found myself here. The water he recommended was dubious indeed. I was not aware there was any kind of water that could leave one in such high spirits. So you, who were not even there, have surmised the truth as well? How careless of me. After the Battle of Guandu, I feel as though everyone is even more unified in their desire to elevate Lord Cao Cao to ruler of this land. As more and more men of talent assemble to serve him, fortifying our core, I've begun to wonder what is to become of me. After all, I possess neither eloquence nor a sharp mind for innovation. And although I have a firm grasp on the nature of man, I am not one to deploy extensive strategies. And yet, everyone includes me in their plans, as if it is a matter of course. At this rate, I'm not at leisure to be so self-abasing. I must offer many proposals, use what I can, and take on any and all possible challenges. This is the only way I can repay them. That is why I ask that you allow me to use you as well. I swear to you, I shall put you to work in the manner most suitable for your skills. Indeed, leave this to me. I shall find the best way to properly utilize the skills of a guardian of peace. Now that I think about it, you are the only one to whom I can show this side of me. Talking to you like this, achieving such assuredness with you. Ah, is that a bed over there? I have become quite drowsy now that the tension has left me. Fret not, for I can sleep on my own.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Good night, and pleasant dreams.
What a pleasure meeting you here. You seem to be getting along so well with Lord Shunyo. I was hoping to get a chance to talk with you myself. I'm glad the feeling was mutual. I hope we may become more than just mere acquaintances. Let me tell you about what I've been doing. Just now, I was observing how things are among the people in town, to ascertain what role the government should play here. Warfare alone is not enough to clear a path forward for our leader. That is why I spend my free time walking the streets like this. Suspicious? Well, I suppose standing around in the middle of town is a little bit strange. By the way, may I ask you something personal? You have yet to pledge your allegiance to any specific lord. Might you consider putting your rare talents to use among our ranks under Lord Cao Cao's command? To bring peace to our world as swiftly as possible. That is why we want none other than you, a guardian of peace, to join us. It may be your intention to continue to drift across the land like a benevolent breeze, helping as many people as you can. But you must understand that allying with those walking opposing paths is no different than allying with none at all. It will accomplish nothing, and will instead further fan the flames of conflict. No one wishes for that. These are my thoughts on the matter. Our land should be governed by one capable leader. And that leader can be none other than Lord Cao Cao. It is he who will lead us on the path to peace. Do you not also wish for a swift end to the chaos that plagues the land? I would not presume to force an answer from you at this moment, but please do consider my proposal as you move forward. That is all I wish to discuss with you for now. But would you do me the honor of visiting me at my estate? I would like to foster a friendship between us, as men who share a similar fate. Oh, pardon my manners. I was so deep in thought that I'd forgotten our plans to meet. Yes, I've hardly slept at all. As much as it pains me to admit my failure to take care of myself. Matters of war have been left to Lord Shunyo, Jashu, and Goja. That leaves the task of governing Shu in my hands. I must also be vigilant against agents of Yuanshao, interfering with domestic affairs. And the recent incident is yet to be fully dealt with. Yes, the attempt made on Lord Cao Cao's life, at the behest of the Emperor himself. Truth be told, we had considered the possibility, but not so soon. It seems the Emperor feels threatened by our leader's power. Should a mere retainer be allowed to attain more power than the Emperor? This is a matter that we must now carefully consider. There are many issues at hand, but for now, I must remain focused on protecting our leader. Yes, you're right. I cannot deny the wisdom of your words. Perhaps it's fatigue taking its toll on me. But I find that my ability to focus is beginning to fray. The other day, I was out negotiating with officials and handling government affairs, all without noticing that my hat had caved in. The funny thing is that later I actually saw the ministers all walking together with their hats caved in the exact same way. I couldn't believe how quickly my carelessness had become a fashion statement. I suppose all I can do now is wait for it to go out of style. That would be an entirely new source of embarrassment, and they would wonder why it's coming from you. I'd like for you to keep all this to yourself. Let it be our little secret. Be that as it may, I am glad that we have made plans to meet later. If I am to rest, I would very much like it to be with you at my side. Now, shall we make our way to my estate? Please forgive me if I fall asleep on the way. My apologies. I was keeping myself occupied in contemplation while awaiting your arrival, and I must have drifted off to sleep. Do you really think so? I actually do that quite often. People just don't see it that way. In any case, looking like I am deep in thought while sneaking in a short amount of sleep is a talent that I am happy to have. Now, please have a seat over here. With the battle at Guandu behind us, the reign of Lord Cao Cao is starting to come to fruition. Starting with Luoyang, we have been expanding our influence over key territories and peoples across the land. No, your good intentions are more than enough. All the government affairs that I'd been tasked with carrying out alone before are now being handled with the help of many new hands. We have recruited not only Lord Shunyo, but also many other very capable people of great talent to our side. But as all this has happened, I have come to realize something. At first, I thought we needed a single, unrivaled leader to bring peace to the land. For me, that meant Lord Cao Cao. Looking back on it now, it seems that I drew this conclusion a bit too hastily. Our talents each have an important role to play. I have come to understand that we are at our most powerful when we all join hands and work together. I would also like to join hands with you. Regardless of what happens to me in the future, may I count on having your friendship? I am relieved. Now I can rest without a care in the world. By the way, do you remember that story I told you before? About that time I went out with my hat caved in and unintentionally started a new trend that spread like wildfire. I really should have just gone back immediately and explained it to everyone. But I had a reason for not doing so. You are the only one who knows my secret. I wanted to have something like that between us. From now on, you are the only one I need to be open with about my faults and failures. No, you're the only one I want. I'm actually quite stubborn, believe it or not. But I also love to be cared for.
I guess that conversation's over. So, I'll probably finish the video after I'm done with Eugene's bond conversations.
Hey, you! He's gonna be here soon, you know. Unless you take off now, you're gonna be worked to the bone, too.
That's good advice. Just go home and forget about training today. I don't want to see another poor soul broken.
The punishment he dealt to King soldiers who pillaged during the fighting of Shu Province was so severe, I dare not even speak of it.
He shows no leniency in his training either, and it's about to begin now. Each session is more traumatic than the last. Once we get started, I reckon you'll change your tune. I can't even tell you how many times I've been at death's door here.
Just don't say we didn't warn you. And don't run away crying once things start heating up, no matter what.
No one said to slacken your formations. Fix them, now.
Sir, yes sir! Returning to formation.
What are you doing here mixed in with my soldiers? If you wish to partake in my drills, then join the formation properly. Time to commence the drills. Prepare yourselves. You have most impressive stamina and agility. Cultivated through many years of strict training, I imagine. Admirable dedication. The body and mind quickly wither if neglected. You do not fear me, do you? Surely you've heard of the rumors of my harsh treatment of Qin soldiers, stemming from a personal grudge? And you're not concerned about that in the least. My former leader, Lord Bao Xin, was slain by Yellow Turbans, who had come down from Qin Province. They say my bitterness led me to dole out harsher punishments than necessary to Qin soldiers who failed to maintain order. Pillaging is a serious offense. My judgment therein is simply a matter of course. Personal grudges and the like do not factor in whatsoever. And I must continue to ensure proper discipline moving forward as well. It is the role I play, and my very convictions require me to do so. You must keep the details of this conversation private. If the soldiers knew, they would grow lax. Come by again next time you're up for an intense challenge. I'll help you focus both your body and mind.
You're here again? You really are fond of Lord Eugene working you to the bone, aren't you?
Are you going to tell me that your support of Lord Cao Cao is based solely on a desire for limitless training under Lord Eugene?
There might actually be something in that. People are starting to hail Lord Eugene's training as the most severe in the land. Anyone with a taste for that kind of thing would do whatever they could for more, eh?
All right, let's get through this session. Remember, every bit leaves us stronger. If you want to increase your chances of survival on a real battlefield, intense training like this is more effective than an easy battle.
No private conversations. I've told you more times than I can count to be in formation when the session starts. As punishment, you'll have an additional 1,000 practice swings before we start.
Are you serious? Forget the battlefield. We won't even survive this.
Don't talk back. It's only going to get us additional drills.
Back again. You'll receive no special treatment. You do understand that, right? I wonder how long you'll be able to keep that composure up. If you've forgotten the severity of my sessions, you'll soon remember. Time to commence the drills. Prepare yourselves. You remain as unafraid of me as ever. Despite how people usually end up after repeat sessions with me. Systematic order restricts individual freedom in order to make it possible to operate as a unit. And so, you can make assumptions regarding soldiers' responses. If anything, it's better that I be feared and detested. A drop in discipline results in distracted soldiers, so yes, I will accept their hatred if my training saves their lives. Soldiers are best poised for survival when order and discipline are sound and effective. That's what being a unit means. The reason I serve under Lord Cao Cao is because his beliefs closely align with my own. So, do not worry about me. This is my place. You too will be well served by allowing the hardships here to mold you.
Oh, it's you! I mean, hello, sir. Here for Lord Eugene's training?
He's earned quite a reputation after the victory at the Battle of Guandu was credited to his strict training.
A lot of new faces today, saying they want to undergo his training. If you're worried about the large number of people, don't be. They'll be gone soon enough. You and us are about the only people tough enough to endure Lord Eugene's grueling training. Strange, though. He seems a bit later than normal today. It's rare he's not on time.
Hey, he's here! And Lord Cao Cao is with him.
I've come here today to give praise to Eugene and his achievements. My strategists tell me that our victory at Guandu was due to order being maintained in the castle, despite the disadvantage. That was achieved by Eugene, a man without peer. You should be proud to receive guidance from him.
I'm grateful for the generous words.
Well then, work hard.
He sure didn't stay long, huh? Well, I imagine he's quite busy.
Which makes it pretty incredible he came here just to praise Lord Eugene, huh? I know I was moved.
You, over there. Have I not made it clear that there is to be no personal conversation? Now 2,000 practice swings for all of you, including newcomers. Then line up in formation. No one receives special leniency here. Time to commence the drills. Prepare yourselves. quite a few ended up running away. What are you saying now? If we don't separate the wheat from the chaff here, we'll hold back those who have provided years of distinguished service. Those who understand what we are trying to achieve here ought to be able to sense that for themselves. I'll continue with little mind for how I may appear. After all, I have you and Lord Cao Cao, who see through to the heart of things. Thank you.
Alright, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.